Well, good morning. It's a brisk 32 degrees out. Beautiful day though. It's supposed to get up into the 60s or 70s, so figured it'd be a good day to take a hike. So today we're gonna head up to Sutro Springs. I tried to look up the history on it. I couldn't find much. Everything just referenced back to Sutro Tunnel. So I'm assuming it's just named after or for or in honor of Adolf Sutro, who did the Sutro Tunnel, which is just a few miles behind us there. So I'm gonna head up here. I have been up here on the dirt bike once, and it's at Sutro Springs. There is a few remnants of structures and bits of water and springs and stuff. It's a really cool spot. I don't think I'm gonna get there today. I'm gonna try to go on the canyons just to the south of it, where I haven't been before, see if I can find anything cool there. But yeah, I'm assuming it was just I don't know if he was involved. There are some mines up here, so I don't know if he was involved in those, and that's why it's named Sutro Springs, or if it was just named in honor of him or for him in some respect. So I'll see what I can find on that later, but we'll see what's up here and go from there. Looks like it'll be a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. So it's a bit of a trek. There is kind of a road most of the way up, so I'll be taking that as far as I can, and then head into the bush, so to speak, once we get up here to the entrance to the canyon. And I'll check back in with you then. So we were about a half mile up the road from the last spot. So Sutro Springs is about half a mile north on the mountainside, but for like a mile, this whole side of the mountain here has several canyons. They all have springs in them, because you can see the greenery from Google Earth. So I'm figuring I'm going to try to go up some of the ones that are a little less accessible. Sutro Springs is really cool, but it has a 4x trail basically right to it, so everybody and their mother's been there, so there's not really anything new to see. But I'm going to try up some of these other canyons that are kind of less traveled and don't have roads to them, and see what's up there. So this will be the first one here, and then I'll go to the top of this one and then hop over to the next canyon, because it looks like it has a lot of trees as well, and go see what's up there and hopefully find something cool. I'm not sure if I'll be able to go in the canyon itself, or if I'm going to have to go up and walk the ridge and follow it, because it looks like it's pretty thick with willow and brush. So I'll see where I can head and kind of go from there. So I'll catch back with you. So after walking up a bit, this canyon is very thick in brush, so I'm going to try to cross it and walk the ridge up on the north side of it and see what I can find up there. Because as you can see, it's pretty much impassable. I don't feel like busting through the brush that bad, so I'm just gonna go up the side of the mountain here and kind of follow it and see if there's any ways I can get down into it. So it looks like some interesting rock structures up further. I'll have to check out, but yeah, I'm gonna go up that way and then follow this canyon along and see what we have up there. So I'm about halfway up the canyon now, and I'm glad I decided to go on the ridge, because it is very, very steep and very impassable down there with brush. So it looks fairly promising up that way towards those trees, because it looks like it opens up and has some flat ground. So I'm going to head up there. I'll probably see if I can stop by that big cottonwood tree there that's just turning yellow, and then I'm going to go up probably on the base of that mountain, and then go up over to the next one, which will be behind that ridge right there. And then Sutro Springs is another ridge over, and I'll probably try to end up there and then start walking back home. I am regretting my choices of layering, because it is warmed up a lot faster than I was expecting. So now it's going to be sweaty, and I got to carry all these extra clothes, but I'd rather have too much than not enough, so it's all good. But yeah, we'll head up that way and see what we got up there. So made it up to that tree that I pointed to up at the top of the ridge over there. It's another nice big old cottonwood here. I always like to come down and check these because you generally always find something at the base. An old camp, rock walls, you know, tin cans, bottles. This one unfortunately is fairly overgrown with grass and a lot of debris on the ground, but I'm sure over the years a lot of people have camped out underneath it because it's kind of a cool spot, and there is standing water down in those, there's like a little waterfall, and at the base of it there's a little pit that has water in it. So it does have water up here. I'm always surprised how many of these canyons have water in them up here in the high desert, because you don't expect to see that much when you're up here. But yeah, generally every time you find little oases like this, there's going to be some kind of ruin or something here cool to find. I'll have to come back later when a few more of the leaves are off and I can see through some of these willows. But so we're going to head up that way and see what we can find up there, and then we're going to cut over by that ridge to the other side, and then probably come down that canyon and see what we can find there. But yeah, so far so good. Temperature's kind of gotten up to probably maybe 50 already, so it's super nice. Still not a cloud in the sky and no wind, which is always nice here because it's generally always a bit of wind. So yeah, we'll go up this way and see what we can find up there. Alright, so we've made it to the top of the canyon. You can see the tree that we were at down there, the only bit of yellow color. And the canyon kind of dies out up here. Not much to see. The other canyon next to it I was going to go to kind of dies out too. Not much to see there. So I'm going to hop over this ridge here and then see what's on the other side, because I can see some more trees over there. And there's the backside right here of the legendary Asshole Mountain. So we'll do that story one of these days, but it looks a little different from back here, but not a view I see all the time. But yeah, we'll head up this way and see what's over that other ridge there in that canyon. So up here in the Eastern Sierra, the high desert, as you know if you've ever been out here, everywhere is steep and very rocky, and this area does not disappoint in that aspect. It has a nice ankle breaker up here. So I was hoping to get a shallower spot, but I'll just go down here and then pop up. I don't want to go too much higher up because it doesn't look like there's much up there. Just more and more rocks. A few rock outcroppings. Don't see anything too spectacular up there. We'll go down a trail here. Not a trail, but the path. Cut between these pinions here. Might be mistaken, but it kind of looks like an old road right here. Kind of see remnants of a stacked wall. Let's see. It's amazing. Damn near every canyon up here has these old logging roads that go up, because Virginia City is just up the hill, and all the mines and kilns needed tons of lumber, so they damn near cut down every tree on every range here. It's amazing how much it's come back. But you'll be out in the middle of nowhere and you'll see a stump that was cut like up there, and I can't even imagine how difficult it would be to get lumber down the mountain, even with all the modern crap we have. How hard it would be to get any of this down to where you could get it loaded up. You just have a lot of back-breaking work. Yeah, because there's a little remnants of a wall here, but it looks like it ends right here or goes that way. But yeah, it does go that way. I see the wall there. But that's a hike for another day. So I'm gonna stick to the plan. We'll head up here and see what's in that next canyon. So it's gonna be steep, and there's gonna be a lot of heavy breathing, so I will spare you that, and I will catch to you when I get to the top up here. So I made it to the top, or almost the top of the canyon. I've been following a rock wall along the wash here, about maybe half a mile up. I've found hundreds of these, and I always get sucked into following them up. They usually don't go anywhere. They usually dead end or just bottom out at, you know, the base of the mountain up here. But I always get sucked in thinking I'm going to find something at the end of them, but never really do. Occasionally you'll find a stone structure of some sort, but not very often, because these were just utilitarian to come up here, chop wood, haul it down in the wagons. But yeah, you can kind of see it here. It's fairly crudely stacked compared to a lot of them I've seen. So I think it was just a temporary logging road to come up here and get the trees and lumber for the kilns and mines and houses. But it continues. I can see it keeps going up that way, and then it looks like it wraps around me here and then continues to the other side of the canyon. So I'll go up this way a little bit to see if anything stands out to me, but I think I don't want to go all the way to the top because I didn't bring enough water, because you can see it right here where it's flat and they have the crudely stacked rocks off to the side, and it goes down right here. But I'll head up this way a little bit, see if it opens up anymore, becomes anything, because I'm a sucker when it comes to finding old shit. So you can see it, the rock wall here, and then they had dug this, flattened this out here, and then moved rocks up there, which is a feat in itself, because these aren't very small rocks. Yeah, like I said, just about every canyon up here you'll find them, and it looks like they may have ended right here. It's hard to say because there's a little landing in here, but that's just as well, because I really don't want to go up this mountain anymore. It is very steep and very rocky, and I'm starting to sweat like a pig, and I didn't bring a bunch of water. Yeah, this all looks like rock fall up here. Oh. So yeah, they would have come up here and chopped down every tree. Like I said, I can't imagine how hard it would be to come up here and do that, but they did it. Guess you got no other choice. That's what's paying the bills. Yeah, I don't see any. Occasionally you'll find a structure at the end, like a few rock walls where they just set their canvas tents over and kind of spend the night in there if they were out late. You can see it right here, flatten out, and it looks like it goes, used to have something over the wash, then it goes down that side. But I think that's as far as I want to go for today. Yeah, you can see how they flattened it out here and then moved all the rocks along, made a little retaining wall here. Yeah, like I said, it's amazing how many of these you'll find. Any spot I see a flat area, I always like to check out because it usually means they had a little camp area. But I don't see anything up here. And like I said, this one's fairly crudely stacked. Some of them you find are just amazing how nicely stacked the rock walls are, and they're still standing perfectly fine after 100 some odd years. Yeah, you can see the trail right here, 5 feet wide, and the rocks there and here. If I can imagine having the horses pull a wagon up here and trying to turn around in that flat spot up there, that'd be nuts. Yeah, because this looks like it comes out, because I think because the other two canyons were kind of a dud, I think we'll head over to the actual Sutro Springs area and see what we got there. And then this one kind of washes out there. Well, it's probably hard to see, but off of the camera here, but once you've spotted a few of them, you kind of see the tall tale signs, and they're easy to spot, and they always come and go because they're always in these terrible canyons, so they'll get washed away and completely disappear for 500 feet or half a mile, and then you'll just happen to come upon where it starts again. But yeah, I can see the wall there. And like El Dorado Canyon on the other side of the valley there has some of the best I've seen, and that was a huge operation because they had the kilns right over there. So there are so many old trails and rock walls that are still standing and doing their job 150 some odd years later, and then just free stacked, no mortar or anything up here. Something that kind of sucks here out in the west, most of the history's disappeared because they didn't build things to last. They just built them quickly so they could take advantage of the mines that popped up or whatever else, because they knew out here it was boom and bust real fast, so nothing was built with much permanence, so you don't find a whole heck of a lot standing up here anymore, other than usually just the stone walls for the base of their canvas tents they did. So just coming down that wash I was on with the rock walls, and I thought this was pretty cool. Tree right in the middle of the wash that's obviously gone through a flood or two. It's had all the bark stripped on this side, and then it's washed these two rocks in between it, and they've actually grown into the tree. That's crazy. Very hardy trees, the pinyons. Yeah, I should be popping out here where I can start seeing the Sutro Springs. Yeah, there's another one. Another rock in there that's grown inside the tree, either from the tree growing up or probably more likely a flood coming through the wash here. You can see how every tree has rocks piled up against it. So we came from up there. I made it up over the last ridge, so there is Sutro Springs. You can see all the cottonwoods and the rose bushes, wild roses there blooming or changing colors. So right in this area here by the cottonwoods, there's the spring. It has a concrete catch tank, few little foundations here and there. There's a few mine tailings up in here and little dugouts and whatnot. And so there's another spring up by that tree. Then it all runs down here into the canyon, and there's water, but it's not like flowing like a creek or anything. I was gonna go over there, but there are people that were shooting over there a minute ago, so I don't want to walk over into that. So I think I'll probably take this road back here and start heading back home. Unfortunately, nothing spectacular finding on this trip, but it's always getting out and hiking up here is always makes for a good day. It doesn't really matter if I find anything. I just like to get out and explore. So I know what's up this canyon now. I'm kind of working my way around the valley, up all these canyons and seeing what I can find up there. But yeah, this one does look like there's a road that goes up into that back canyon there, so I might take that one of these days, but I don't have enough water on me today to do that trip, and I don't want to go over where people are shooting, so I will see you on the next adventure, and hopefully there'll be a little more cool stuff on it. So we'll see you then. Bye. So the people that were up there shooting left, so I said, oh, screw it, let's go check out Sutro Springs. So I'm walking up here, and here's the first spring. It's actually quite a bit of water. We had a lot of rain here the last week, so I think that's why it's up a little higher than normal, but it's got some watercress in it, which usually means the water's clean and you can drink it. A lot of people use that stuff in their salads. But yeah, it's got flowing water, so that's the first of the springs. And there's, like I said, there's probably 10 or 15 different spots up here that have springs. And I just noticed something down there. Looks like an old water tank. I don't think I can get to it because that looks like it's about 6 feet deep in brush, but I don't know if you can see it over there. But it's that rusty water tank right there. But can't get over to it. That's one of those 1/4-inch thick riveted together ones. It's super heavy. So it looks like there's a little stream coming down this canyon here. A little bit of flow. And then over here are those mine areas I was pointing out. And then over here is where I think there used to be a house, because there's a big water catchment tank and a few other things up there we'll check out. But let me get up this hill and I'll catch you up there. So this is up the hill a little bit from that water crossing we had. So you can see over here the hillside is just littered with little springs that run down the mountainside and collect down to that in the bottom of the canyon there, and that's what was flowing across the road. Looks like they all kind of end right here, but a lot of horses around here. I haven't seen any today, but you can see horse tracks up to the water because they know where to go to get the water they need in the grass. But yeah, lots of horse trails up here. So here's that mining area. Looks like they were mining out around these outcroppings here, which you find a lot up here. And over here it looks like they hit a spring and they were digging it out. There's water kind of oozing out of the hillside where they were digging into these rocks. Let's see what's up here. Something concrete over there. Let's go check that out. Kind of interesting rocks. I think they call it like conglomerate, where it's just a bunch of random rocks that have all been solidified together somehow. And it looks like this could have been looks like a windmill at one point. It's seen better days. It's definitely been blown over. Yeah, and that would have been looks like a little well. Would have pulled the water up and put it up over in the cistern here. Let's see if there's any water in it. Nope, look at that, it's crazy. Still has all the sealer in there. So it looks like it would fill up through that pipe there from the windmill and then come out here. There's a couple hoses. Yeah, and that would have gone to supply water for just getting all that concrete up here. This isn't that old. This is probably in the 40s or 50s. It's still pretty cool. Someone had a little well up here. I don't know if that got blown over or someone pulled it over. But it's pretty cool. And then over here is the springs that have the kind of looks like more foundation areas around it. And this area is pretty well picked over because it, as you can see, it has fairly nice roads up to it, so people are up here all the time shooting and drinking and doing whatever they do. I've been up here a few times on the dirt bike. An interesting thing is some of this, oh, there's one of the mines. I don't think it goes in very far as I recall. Got the old railroad track up there for the beam. As I recall, this one doesn't go in very far. Yeah. Still very cool though. There's that old railroad track. You can see back in the bottom, even here they hit water. You can see it oozing out of the back there a little bit. But very cool. You can see some boring holes. Yeah, everybody all chasing that dream, finding gold or silver, but just the work to even mine that out. All right, let's see. I think I'll go up here and then down to that one. All right, here we are to that first group of trees. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's 2 trees. I'm always amazed how big these cottonwoods get up here. You wouldn't think you'd find them like this in a desert, but there's a spring. These are just gnarled, big giant trees. You can tell the horses have been in here because the grass is mowed down, and you can see a little watering hole they hit right there. Yeah, this is kind of a cool little spot under here. So I got these big old branches overhanging, so it's nice and sheltered. And then you can see where the horses go down here to get some water. Well, it looks like it's an old cistern. Nice ice cold. You can see there's a metal lid there, so there might be an old cistern under here. And you can see it flows down this way. You can see the horses have been up here pretty munching all the grass down, so you can actually see what's going on up here. This is where I've camped up here one time, but I didn't like it because there's too many people coming up here, you know, kind of uneasy when people come out at night and they're drunk and they're shooting, you know. It's just kind of looking for trouble, I think. So I haven't been back up here, but it's a beautiful spot. It's got a hell of a view. Only drawback here, because this property is actually for sale. Half of it, I don't know which half, is that big old mine right there. It would kind of suck, because when that wind's blowing, all that dust, I think it's diatomaceous earth, from what I've heard. So when it's blowing, the wind blowing this direction, there's a nice white dust cloud that comes off there sometimes. As you can see, all the water through here, and that flows down that way. And then up over here, It's where everybody camps in fire pits, which is a little dangerous up here, but because it's a little, luckily it's fairly clear around here, and this big old gnarly cottonwood that fell. When I first came up here, this was still standing. It was dead, but it was still here. But it has since come down. I think there's another pond, a little watering hole down this way, as I recall. Don't fall on my ass. I think there was a house up here, or a cabin I should say, at one point, because there is a ton of wood and ton of places where foundations were, but I don't know if I've ever seen a picture of it. Another cool spot, nice and shady, and nicely trimmed grass from the horses. Yeah, this is a massive cottonwood here. Yeah, what a cool spot. Very beautiful spot. And then over here is another little watering hole for the horses. Still a good amount of water. These big old trees. Yeah, I'm glad we got to come over here. So I think I'm going to start heading back, because I only brought enough water for a couple hours, and I'm starting to sweat. So, and I'm all out, so I'll probably start heading back. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. Glad I was able to get out and show you around up here. It's a beautiful spot. Look at that view. All right, we'll see you on the next one.